Today it's all about 80s music. Now let's go retro. That's today's video. Are you ready? Let's go do it right now. Hey, what's up? I'm Analog Kitchen and thank you for checking out yet another video. Now, if this is your first time here, do not hesitate to click subscribe and hit that notification bell. Whenever I upload a new video, you'll be kept in the loop and you'll not miss out on anything. Stick around till the end of this video. I'll tell you all about the mixer project. Look what I got. This is unboxing. Unboxing. Ooh. What is in there? Can you imagine? Bloody COVID. Parts for the mixer. This is gonna get shipped off then. So what else is in there? There's a packing list. Oh no, are you kidding me? How is this stuck to the box? No, you shouldn't have. Okay. So that's what it is. Transistors, capacitors. We've got our stuff finally. I mean, you do not know how long it's been since we have actually ordered this. Stick around till the end of the video, I'll tell you all about it. Now, on today's topic. I am an 80s brat. I'm a kid of the 80s. I love the bands that were just out there. And I think that it's coming around, it's coming full circle. I mean, it goes in waves and it comes up and it goes down. But looking at the market, looking at the industry at the minute, you know, you can hear certain influences starting to come in. You can see it in fashion, you can see it in movies and series, obviously. Stranger Things. So a lot of that 80s kind of vibe is coming up. So it's a very current and a very relevant topic to touch into. I have been on a mission to change my sound around a little bit. And it's much to do with which boxes do you choose when you're in the dollars realm, right? What do you choose? Where do you go? How do you get with it or don't get with it? So I think I pretty much got my setup where I think it needs to go. And I love the 80s. I feel comfortable there. I think that the sound design was amazing. There's certain tracks that, it was my youth, you know what I mean? I'm old. So obviously, yeah, going into this kitchen club night that we're doing the 16th of December, it's going to be absolutely amazing event. I'm thinking, okay, where do I want to take my sound? Do I want to really just like go into that classic, progressive slash melodic techno kind of vibe that a lot of people are jumping on that bandwagon on? Probably not. I'd like to go somewhere where I feel comfortable, something that I know, something that was a part of me, something that I've been a part of. Yeah, so I'm trying to just like get into that. And that 80s vibe, to go into the retro sound, to do it nowadays, why not? It's been an iconic time. So I will take you to my live set. I will show you on that process, on where my train of thought is when I make tracks like that, how it relates to performing live, how you can get to that, because there's a few things that you need to take into consideration if you want to mimic that kind of vibe. Obviously, you can debate, make it electro, get some electro beats from Splice, and get maybe, you know, 2 or 3 arpeggios and 3 or 3 in there, and that pretty much does the trick. But that's not where we want to go. We want to be creating building blocks in that sound so that it resembles the 80s, but it is current. And it does the trick, because there's a lot of stuff which I'm going to explain once we get to the live set. That was cool about the 80s, was a lot of stuff that can get enhanced nowadays as well. So without further ado, let's go and head over to that live set and let's kick some butt. Ready? Let's go. So why the 80s, you might debate? Because looking at the whole dollars phenomenon, if I can call it that, now the rise of the different synthesizers in small form factor as well makes it that, yeah, those were the days where synthesizer reigned supreme. Whether it be Ultravox or whether it be Eurythmics, Human League, Depeche Mode, I mean, all these names in themselves might open your brain up to, oh yeah, I know exactly what it is. Now, the younger generation watching this, you might not know where it came from exactly, or some of you might have done some homework and you know about it, but to cross over between that retro feel in today's music, especially if you're doing dollar stuff, yeah, you pretty much end up there. You end up in something of the later 80s maybe, you know? It was very much a fan of the new romantic kind of vibe. Now, thinking of the 80s, there's a few things that were absolutely amazing at that time, and there's a few things that I think were not so great. In hindsight, I have to say, because nowadays with more knowledge, of course, you tend to just like reevaluate stuff and it turns out differently. Now, a few things thinking of the 80s, what I know is that snare drum was always very loud. I mean, we were all scared that the Russians were going to get us, especially us in Europe, thinking, yeah, okay, America, you pick a fight with Russia, but you know, those missiles are not going to go all the way to America. They might land on Amsterdam or Rotterdam or whatever. So the sound was very thin, it was very reverby, the snares were very in your face, and that's long since changed. Sounds nowadays has got more richness. I think it's much to do with the demise of vinyl. On vinyl, you cannot get any low end to just like, you just can't cut it on vinyl. But once vinyl left, it left the whole spectrum open, and that is exactly what happened. So music styles like trap or even going further back, like what Dr. Dre's done, there's a lot of low-end also that gets embedded on records, which is cool because now my friend Subsequent over here, you know, can really shine. So you can cross over that 80s kind of vibe with a modern approach. That's exactly what we're going to do today. I have borrowed a track from the 80s that was one of those tracks that I really liked. I mean, I'm lucky to say that I was of that age, that when it came out, I was there, and now I'm going to just like breathe into my live set because I want to go in hybridly, as I said. So it means thinking of the 80s, a few things. Like I said, snare drums with reverb. So I'm going to use a clap today with a little bit of a plate reverb because that resembles the 80s for me as well. Some modern drums coming from the octa track because I've got my drums sitting here. I've got like 8 tracks octa, meaning 8, which means the first 6 are drums. Track 7 is always going to be on every bank that I do. If I'm using the octa track as a drum computer, track 7 is going to be some sort of a gimmick. Now, I'm not saying that disrespectfully, but it's going to be something that of a hook, something you can latch onto and remember it. So in this case, it's going to reveal what track that I've nicked from the 80s, so I'm not going to spoil it as of yet too fast. Arpeggios, also something that I think is something of the 80s, so I'm going to use the OB6 for the arpeggio. The MIDI is being collected by the MPC-1 because I do think that the MPC-1 does a lot of stuff absolutely amazingly, but there's a lot of stuff that it does not do amazingly as well. I'm on 125 BPM. I can speed it up, but I think that the octa track does a better job of stretching stuff than the MPC-1 does. However, the MPC-1 does a better job on collecting MIDI than the octa track does, so that's why you have 2 of them together. Then there's another sampler sitting right here. For those of you that are wondering, why on earth is there another sampler there? You've got already so many. This is the 1010 Black Box that does ear candy stuff. There is some atmospheric stuff that goes in the background, and I can launch it from the MIDI fighter sitting right here. The MIDI fighter is taking care of whatever is happening over here. So twisting it is a filter, pressing it is launching stuff. So it is Ableton in a box a little bit, but you know, nobody's died of having a little bit of Ableton in their lives. Now, then there's some boxes over here as well, which I will explain. There's a Strymon Black Sky. I say that Black Sky because it's a blue sky, but it's limited edition, so I'm calling it the Black Sky from now on. Henceforth you shall be known as Strymon Black Sky. Got that here. Over on the other side, we have got the Launch Control XL. Now, why do you not use just the Akai and map everything out on the Launch Control XL? Well, because I think it's not the most reliable of machines. The MPC-1 does a lot of stuff when it's already going, but if it's not going, you know, losing mappings, for instance, it happened to me before. I just like, you know what, I just went in and completely programmed the whole thing, and then it lost the mapping. So you have to just do that all over again. So it's not so much as today. I'm only using one vocal sitting on the far corner, the far fader here, and I've used it on this because it's easy. I'm always looking for this as muscle memory. Also remember, it looks as a lot of just like a hodgepodge of different equipment. To me, this is my guitar, this is my instrument. For me, filter, bam, you know, next sequence page, bam. This is how my song is laid out. I'm on track 11 right now, using 4 songs per bank, which means, so bank A, pattern 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is called sequences on the MPC-1. One song, one track. 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's the next song, and so on and so forth. Which means 4 tracks on one bank. This is bank B, second bank. So that's track 5, 6, 7, and 8. 9, 10, 11. I'm on 11. I have not copied this sequence pattern over yet. I'm using the 4 for 1 song because I think keep it very tight. I'm working more and more in the K.I.S.S variety, in the K.I.S.S philosophy. K.I.S.S meaning keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple. Try to keep it as simple as possible. So everything that is going to be embedded on this whole track is always in the development stage where I am right now, which is why I'm telling you this, because that's where you can see what is he using, how is it working. This is where everything plays. Further on in the process, I dilute stuff, I take stuff out, and then I'll just like place it in the logical sense. So if I switch, something would either be taken out or being introduced, so I need my hands for something else, right? But now, I'm only there where I've got the one pattern. So, iconic beats, very 80s. You're going to hear me do something that you've not heard me do before when it comes to drums. I'm on a triplet vibe, which means I'm not 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll hear it once the beat starts. The highs are going to give it away. Now, I will start with the vocal because that vocal is very, very crazy. Vocal is coming from the MPC-1. Leave a comment in the section below if you hear more than Lucky Charm. That's the only word that I can pick out of it. So even to me, it's like a heavily processed vocoder vocal, which I think is a cool hook, but at the same time, I don't know what the hell they're talking about, right? Okay, but does not make any sense. Let's go in. I've got it mapped on the Launch Control XL, as I said. So let's down the filter, volume control here, so I can still alter it, because if more stuff will play, more stuff, it gets louder and louder. So it's easy to have some control over here, and then leave that control until you really screw stuff up. Just do it on that mixer. I'll get to what the rest of the things are doing here, digital delay, but we'll get to that. Arpeggio is going to come from the OB6, by the way. So arpeggios are also very 80s, and deep bass lines are also going to be very 80s. Now let's see what we have, right? I'll stop it, and I'll start it again so everything gets reset. Nice. So I know that it's walking because I can see that little white and red line crawling towards the ceiling of my screen, which means 6, 7, 8. Now open up the vocal. The reason I'm using this vocal is because it's going to take you away from the track, and the track is very iconic for the 80s. Anyone my age will definitely know what's going on. The bass line is going to give it away, and that theme that I got on track 7 is going to give it away. But for sake of longevity and watch time and audience retention, I will not tell you as of yet what it is. You'll hear it in a second. Okay, so that's the vocal, right? Let's go straight in and say, let's add an arpeggio. Now this arpeggio does a few things. I'm a firm favorite, I always say that I'm a firm favorite of envelope generation, meaning that once I turn my filter down, it's going to be very percussive. Listen to this. So if I get to the next step, I can open this up and it becomes and this should be your philosophy. Whatever you use, make sure that it's twofold. It does two things, right? Let's take out the vocal, listen to your arp. It's very much cool, nice, calm. But once I open it up, you'll hear that more stuff is happening. Ah, there you go. Start the kick. You didn't see that coming, did you? This is also giving away where the beat's going, right? Hats. Go in. Clap. Now the clap has got a bit of a blade reverb, as I said. I mean, in the 80s it could have been a little bit more, which meant more drama, but I'm trying to keep it as modern as I can, so I'm taking the best of both worlds, right? Let's go retro! Yay! Okay, that's how we're going to do it. Then there's hi-hat on track 4, open hat, I should say, goes like this. And a trick to use if you're using computer-based drums, which is what this is, clearly, you want to embed a little bit of automation on here. Long, short, 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 long, short, 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 long, which you can see if I'm here. It means that my trick 9, you see the release, I think you can make it out, but if I'm holding this, you see that this is going to change. The release here is 99 on this trick. On this trick is 71, so every fourth hi-hat is a little bit longer. All right, so then you can hear that it pushes the track forward a little bit as well. So again, twofold. Arpeggio, twofold. Let's put the kick in, put the vocal back in, see where we are. 2, 3, and. Kick out. Clap, hats, like this. 1, 2, 3, in. And you work in layers, you work in levels. From the minute you add something and it's starting to fall to the back burner after a while, you have to turn that up again. So not everything needs to go fast. This is a conversation you have with your crowd, by the way. You look at them and you enter that in. This is also, I think, a very 80s way of working. 2, 3, 4, 5, bass line. All right, brownie points for those of you who already can guess what track it's going to be, right? Nice. Nice. Now let's focus a little bit on that subsequent that I have right here. So this time again. As you can hear, it's very impactful. It does a lot of stuff. That's because I have connected this to the Strymon Black Sky, which is sitting over here. It's a blue sky, obviously, but it's a limited edition, so it's a black sky. Henceforth, you shall be known as the Black Sky. Which means going through the delay, there is delay. So play with the delay first, listen to this. But I'm only using that at certain points because it will smear the sound. And again, envelope generation, you can hear it here. Boom, boom, boom. It's forcing the sound a little bit, right? Liking that. Opening it up a little bit. All right, cool. Okay, on track 6, we got a drum roll Back in with the vocal. 2, 3. Here we go. Let's see if we can get some confirmation. Nice one. You can hear that I've put some reverb from the Black Sky on this machine as well, because I love the fact what it does. Now, as I said, the vocal is still playing. I can go to track 3. This is the Odyssey, which is a synth coming from the Akai, and then you can leave this open, and then you play. Obviously, with a less cheesy sound. Obviously, well, this is the most cheesy sound ever, but you know what I mean, you get the idea. So you can do whatever, tap at the vocal. And I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. Something that I can play, so I'm doing something live, something that I can manipulate. So I want to be some sort of a hybrid, sort of like 80s producer, right? Let's play around with the LFO. You got to love the acid box, man. Listen to this. resonance. Still, I would have liked some MIDI on here so that I can just sync it up better, because if I get enthusiastic, my adrenaline will take over. But you know what, in the end of the day, it doesn't matter, you know, it's all, you gotta love it. Okay, now we're going to introduce our ARP again. And again, it's a very maybe obvious trick though, but I mean, if I'm using the ARP here with shorter notes, it's more percussive. As soon as I open it up, more adrenaline will start to come in, right? Get that. And there's a phaser on here, so it just does completely crazy stuff. So if you're in La La Land or in Crazy Town, or you know, you're joining the Wide Awake Club or whatever, you know exactly that this is going to take you all over the edge. So I suggest by now you turn your volume up there, wherever you're listening, or shame on you if you're not listening to this on decent headphones, you know what I mean? You should. All right, turning this down, taking out this gimmick. I cannot wait to perform this live. In a few weeks, it's the Kitchen Club in Rotterdam, and tickets are flying. I'm really encourage anyone, if you want to come check it out, I've got like Kuya running there, the Yellow Blind is playing, I've got like a Loctite playing. This is going to be one of those nights which is already going to be a future classic. I'm going to definitely be performing this one, and yeah, looking forward to what it's going to do. And I love the fact that everything is hands-on, you know what I mean? I'll just keep it. I used to be one of those producers that really like went overboard and more. And now I try to condense it to more bite-sized chunks because I see that the crowd responds to it better. And I think it's just, yeah, I think it's easier that way, right? Okay, lower this. Let's find a better sound because this was very questionable. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to use the other C, definitely. Let's see what we have. We're on pads. No, we should be on lead, should we? Yeah, let's see. All right, what's this? Always lead, this down, this up. I guess that's that, you know? Sometimes I feel I got to come on, man. That's a tune, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm thinking of, you know, Is it possible for me to release that kind of vibe? I'm not sure, but it sure as hell is fun to make. It's sure as hell cool to just like dive into that kind of vibe. Yeah. So hey, if you made it this far into the video, you're an absolute superstar. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all new patrons out there. Thank you ever so much for supporting as well. This channel is funded by the patrons who are helping me throw out some more content, throw out better content, trying to come up with different kind of vibes, and this is just what lives in my brain. But the community is absolutely amazing, very respectful. Also to the new freebies that are in there today, there's a few cats that came in through the free links that we've posted, which was 1 week free on Patreon and Discord, obviously, to check out what the vibe is all about. Thank you also for being there. Don't hate me, but you're gonna get kicked tomorrow. But enjoy the chat after this video, after it's done, if it's the premiere that you're watching. Okay, now, yeah, the Kitchen Club is obviously taking place the 16th of December. So if you're in Holland, or if you're not in Holland but you want to come, do let us know. It's going to be an amazing ride. It's really going to be cool. Kia Robin's playing, as I said, Yellow Blind's playing. K.I.S.S is doing a vinyl set because it's either vinyl or live. That's the whole Kitchen Club concept. Lockday's playing. I'm playing a 2-hour set. So it should be an amazing ride. And then we've got like Manos also performing, which is like an electronic band, more of a band than it is an act. So I'm absolutely stoked for that. It's growing, the tickets are flying out of the window, so you should be fast if you want to just like attend. Okay? Okay, yeah, that's the Kitchen Club for you there. I'm looking for it, and I'm going to go into that retro kind of vibe, and I love this flexibility of what this live set is. It can be rave, it can be techno, it can be 80s retro, it can be whatever my sick brain thinks of, which is what I think any musician should aim for, right? Just do whatever feels good, feels right, but live in the moment. I've played it way too safe for a majority of my career, and those days are over. It's done. I want to be like out there and just like live on the edge, be out on a limb, and if it goes wrong, then it goes wrong. But 9 out of 10 times, it's always going to go amazingly well. And it's something I don't even anticipate for, it just happens. So that's the cool like journey that I'm on right now. So again, thank you for watching. I guess I'll catch you next week on the rebound. I'm in a location. I'll catch you next time. Peace.